This is the Fitness Wisdom Podcast.
Hello and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Fitness Wisdom Podcast. Today we have a returning guest, Peter, founder of Mountain Drop. Today we're going to be talking about a very important topic, which is gut health and how that relates to the entire health and well-being of our body. So welcome back to the show, Peter. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure also to meet you again.
Let's dive into the gut. I feel like this is such an underrated topic, right? And many people don't actually realize that the gut influences so many different systems of the body. Could you tell me, which systems of the body does the gut influence?
So there is one very interesting thing. It is gut-brain connection. This connection from the gut to brain, it's very important because a lot of hormones and chemicals are produced in our gut. And because of this production, the whole our body it's influenced by it.
That's insane. Yeah, so then you're basically saying that because it has this bidirectional relationship with the brain, like I've heard some people call it the second brain, which is very true, but some people even call it the first brain because of how many neurons there is down there, in contrast to the brain as well, and how much role it has over our entire biology, because our brain is sort of like a processing system, but the gut is giving the real information of how the whole body should respond. And I think it's so cool because when you realize that how your mood can be affected from your gut, your energy levels, like your immune system, your skin health, your digestive system, your performance, like your muscle recovery, even your weight outcomes, whether you are gaining weight or losing weight, or the fact that your hunger levels or your satiety levels, like all of these things can be influenced by the gut. I feel that's pretty insane.
Yes, and it is very good to mention also that there are more genes than we have as humans, as our DNA. It is 150 times more genes in our microbiome. That means that we are more what we are not. So 150 times more. We have more genes from this microbiome than our own genes. What means that in a sense, you are carrying around a second set of your genetic instructions that influence digestion, immunity, and even your mood.
That's insane.
And about this gut-brain connection, gut communicates with brain through our vagus nerve and chemical messengers. And did you know that 90% of serotonin, the feel-good neurotransmitter, is actually produced in the gut and not in the brain?
That's super fascinating, for sure.
Because a lot of people think, okay, my brain produces serotonin. 19% is produced in our.
Yeah, I think sorry, I cut you off.
No, go.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people don't actually realize that our gut is like literally this factory for all of these pre-neurotransmitters or neurotransmitters. And then our vagus nerve is sort of like this communication highway that is able to communicate with the brain. And it's so cool how you can influence your nervous system state, because your vagus nerve, which passes like from your neck, it literally attaches to your heart, your lungs, and your gastrointestinal tract. And through all of those three pathways, you can influence your nervous system, but also through your mind, you can influence those other systems. So it has this beautiful, like yin-yang bidirectional relationship.
Yes, and I found one very nice research that they prove that if we are peaceful inside, if our mind is in peace, then also our microbiome, it's more stable and in better shape than if we are in stress. So we also, whatever we do in our life, if we are stressed all the time, we impact our own microbiome. And did you also know that same as there are no two people in the world having the same fingerprint, the same is with our microbiome. So there is no person in the world who have the same microbiome in our gut than with any other person. Also, identical twins share only about 30 to 40% of similarity. And what means that your gut ecosystem is shaped how you respond to food, stress, and diseases. So it's the way of life.
So do you think that the reasoning for that, I'm just trying to understand the evolutionary reasoning behind why this may be, why we actually are carrying around, literally these microbes are inhabiting, we are the host for the microbes to keep on living, and we are clearly have this symbiotic relationship, sort of like a trade-off. We give them something and they give us something back in return. And I'm thinking the reason maybe why we have such a huge amount and how everyone has completely different, like a fingerprint, like you said. I'm just thinking it must be for survival of the species, right? Because why else would it be so different? That maybe it contains genetic information which could allow, if something was to happen, like some massive cosmic event and it erased almost everything, but only a few bacteria survived. I feel like, because of the diversity, this could potentially restart life. What do you think?
Yes, I think that then this is also one of the possibility. And I think that on deeper level is also to understand that we are not alone. It's not just our own DNA and genetic system. So
Yes.
Everything is connected because a lot of people are familiar with prebiotics, probiotics, but very few knows what is postbiotics. So to explain you this in a simple way, fibers that we get from vegetables, fruits, are food for good probiotics that we have in our gut. But now the interesting part came. The fermentation that probiotics are doing in our gut, the result are postbiotics. And these postbiotics are the bioactive compounds that your gut, as I said before, beneficial bacteria, probiotics produce when they ferment fibers, polyphenols, and other nutrients. And why is this important? Because they produce short-chain fatty acids, SCFA, like butyrate, acetate, propionate, as well as peptides, vitamins like K2, some B vitamins. And why is this interesting? Because many of these postbiotics are absorbed through the gut lining into the bloodstream directly. And did you know that in your blood, studies show that 20 to 30% of metabolites circulating in your blood are microbial in origin? What means they are not from your own DNA or from your own cells. So in your own blood, you have 20 to 30% other things that are not part of your body and not your DNA, not from your genome. This is almost 1/3.
This actually makes me think that, for example, when you say this, you know how we say that you should be in connection with nature more, but not only because of all the incredible benefits that nature provides, but because there is such a massive microbial diversity outside. And every time when we touch something or interact with the earth, the soil, fruits and vegetables, with our bare hands and bare feet on the ground, it's inevitable that it's going to get on our skin and inside our body, right? Because we have a microbiome on the skin too, right? Not only because the skin is basically an extension of the gut. If you think about the digestive system in your mouth, the skin doesn't somehow stop here at the mouth and it starts new. It's like literally the same pipe from the inside. It covers your whole body and then it goes back up your bum. So it's sort of like the whole like a wrapping system, right? And if your gut is affected, it's going to influence like your skin as well.
Yes, and there is one also very interesting fact. A lot of people talk about candida and why it is so bad and all these things. But I can tell you one interesting thing. If you erase all the candida from your gut, the even worst bacteria will pops up. So candida is preventer that even worse bacteria grows in larger amount. What means we need candida, but not too much. So it's not okay if you say, I will erase all bad all bad bacteria in our microbiome. If you do this, you will get even more problems. And for that reason, if you see how this modern disease, diabetes, obesity, and all these things are popping up, if you eat real food like it is in Mother Nature, there is almost no way to get some kind of this disease. But all ultra-processing food, they impact our microbiome. Why? Because it is not food for our microbiome. And because we do not serve our microbiome as we should, as a good, let's say, when you are good towards someone, the good is coming back. And if we are not good to our microbiome, we do not get back. We should.
So basically what you just said there, it made me think, sorry for interrupting, I just wanted to add there about, it made me think about antibiotics and how, like, you know, the medical system is like all about kill the bad bacteria, erase all of it, you know, it doesn't matter. Of course, I guess it has some life-saving, you know, situations and circumstances in which you can use it, but using it on just for whatever, just for killing a bug or something, I just feel is very irresponsible, because the damage of that can last, or the microbiome can be altered for at least a year, for example. So it can take a year for someone to recover from using antibiotics. So I think the mentality, though, comes because of the fact the conventional medical system uses the germ theory, which they believe they need to kill the germs and all germs are bad. When in reality, like, there is also the terrain theory, right? Where what we are talking about and what you talked about with the candida, that if you have the right ratio of certain bacteria in your gut, they can all live together in symbiosis and they can be in harmony, and it can assist the host, which is us, right? Where they are living within us. But if, as you said, you are going to erase one specific microbe with one specific antibiotic or whatever you're taking, enzyme or whatever, and then after you're altering the entire terrain, so now the terrain needs to again rebalance itself. So it finds, again, what you just said, something that could be way worse for us as a host, but for the microbiome, that could be necessary to maintain the balance, right?
Exactly. And one of the biggest damages that today society experience is this ultra-processed food. In nature, you will not find sugar by itself. Sugar is always connected to fibers in fruits.
Yes.
But when you extract it, and our body gets this sugar without any fibers, what happens in our body? There are spikes in insulin level, in and these are problems. These are making problems. And if we do not have good microbiome, also the inflammation, all the inflammation in our body that pops up, one of these short chain fat amino acids is also butyrate, and this butyrate that is produced from our microbiome enters the blood and it helps regulate systematic inflammation. So these postbiotics made through our probiotics enter to our bloodstream and helps regulate systematic inflammation, what is really amazing.
Oh yeah, I read something really fascinating one time, which said that processed food is not actually food because it's just different chemicals and compounds put together. So the body actually does not recognize it as a food, right? And so it doesn't know how to deal with it, which then causes havoc and inflammation. Whereas when you get something from nature, it does identify, it does understand what it is. So it can actually break it down and use it in all its perfect way, meaning it can recycle every single part of the process and not waste anything. Whereas when something chemical comes in, like, you know, ultra processed, it really doesn't understand what's going on. And that's what causes the inflammation and the heightened immune system response, because the gut is filled with immune cells like the lymphatic system, and it's always scanning for threats coming in through the digestive system. So when we put something in that it doesn't recognize, well, obviously it's going to attack it because it's going to think that it's a bacteria, virus, or whatever, but it's just food that you ate. or, food, processed food. And so then, then you're going to have an inflammatory response to that because your body doesn't recognize it, thinks it's a threat.
Yeah, exactly. And also, if you see how nowadays people are eating, there is almost nobody to eat calmly. There is always rush somewhere, always checking on phone what is going on. So you are not in connection with the food that you are eating. But you should be aware, whatever you put inside you, it becomes part of you. And it is the same as with your car. If you put the bad gasoline inside, you will not have a good performance car. It will have problems. But same is with our body. Whatever we put inside, it becomes part of us. And for that reason, we should be really aware what kind of food is entering. And usually people, when we are in stress and all these things, we are not eating food that is good for us. We are not eating food to decrease our bad emotional state that we are experiencing at that time. So we are not eating for our body and for our gut at all. We are eating to take care of emotional problems and mental problems that we are having.
Yes.
And here everything starts.
And that could even be tied to the gut itself, right? I mean, if your emotional status, like I know that, for example, I have gone through periods of time where all of a sudden I get these sugar cravings or something like that, right? And then it just almost feels like your gut, there are certain microbes that crave like certain nutrients, right? And they tell you like, hey, you need to go and get this sugar, but it might not be like the best thing. You might not want to listen to that,
Yes, and you need to know also the one thing, for example, dopamine, it is a rewarding hormone produced in our brain. Is also very interesting that when you eat food, this hormone is produced. But when we use this ultra-processed food and sugars, these spikes are really, really much higher. And here is the problem. Because we are all addicted like junkies and eating food. It's not real food.
Yes. I think what was really huge, what you said previously, specifically about the stress, because the stress can come in so many different formats, right? You have like the psychological stress, which is huge, which is like an invisible tiger, which is constantly chasing you. So your body's all the time in fight and flight. And we know that the gut heals, regenerates, and repairs itself in times of parasympathetic state, which is not running away from the tiger. It's when you're chilling on the grass, relaxing, breathing nice and smooth, and you're feeling at ease in a meditative state. That is when your body's able to heal, regenerate, and detoxify. But when we are running away from a threat, the body doesn't care about healing or regenerating or thriving, right? It's basically survival. It's not thriving. And so many people are stuck, because of the modern living with the artificial blue lights, the non-native electromagnetic fields, the lack of sleep, the psychological stress, even physical, overdoing, over-exercising can cause leaky gut, for example. Doing too much of anything can cause, damage to the gastrointestinal tract. You can see people who do marathons, they have extremely leaky gut. You see that, for example, they are consuming all of these like sugar gels because maybe they need them, maybe they don't need them, and their body does not handle them very well because their gut is totally wrecked because of the over exercising. The body really doesn't like it when we are stressing it too much.
Yes, and there is totally different way if you eat when you are in peace than if you eat when you are emotionally stressed.
Yes.
In emotional stress. So it's totally different way. And I just found one very interesting research. In global world, there is more than 40% of people worldwide having problems with functional gastrointestinal disorders. You do know what is it? 40%.
Yeah, that's a huge amount.
Yes, it's really a huge amount. And a lot of diseases pops up because our microbiome it's not as it should be. And all the inflammations and all these things. If you check what is the real cause behind and you treat this causes, not symptoms. It's totally different way.
Yes.
And as you said before, our body recognizes something as intruder and acts as it is inflammation. But the way why our body responds to it, it is because our body do not recognize it.
Yes.
And this is quite a huge problem. And you can solve a lot of things. Just cutting the ultra processed food. And I very like this sentence from one doctor. He said, you eat whatever you want. The only thing to carry is when you are eating that you know what you are eating. So you should be able to know what you are eating.
Yes.
If there are things that you do not know what are inside, also our bread nowadays, it's not the bread that it was 100 years ago. There are so much additives inside that sometimes we do not even know if this is real bread.
Yes. Yes.
And here becomes a problem for our gut. And because, as I told you, around 20 to 30% what our gut produces enters our blood. If it is bad for our gut, it is bad for us because it will go to our bloodstream and we will have problems sooner or later.
Yeah, and so many people don't actually realize because of stress in general, it causes a permeable gut, right? So people need to think about the gut like this kind of like tight place where when everything is working as it should, it's not allowing things to enter the bloodstream that are not supposed to enter, like, you know, anything like from food particles or anything like this, like proteins. Do you want to continue?
Yes. So what I wanted to tell here, it is that in a healthy state, this barrier is semi-permeable. That means it allows beneficial nutrients, vitamins, minerals, and microbial postbiotics to enter the bloodstream. But it blocks harmful bacteria, toxins, and undigested food particles. So what is okay can go in, what is not okay, stay out. And what is not okay, it goes out when you go to the toilet. This is normal. Yes, this is normal gut barrier function. But what happens if it becomes too impermeable? That means if we have some inflammations, that the food lack of fiber, at this point, nutrients may not absorb efficiently. Some plant polyphenols and bioactive compounds pass through the gut unabsorbed, which limits their systemic benefits. What means is just passing. And you can eat food, but you will not absorb the nutrients. And what's happening? You are getting nutrition deficiency, low energy, reduced effectiveness of probiotics and postbiotics, and you can use huge amount of probiotics. But if there is problem, it will not help.
Yeah.
It will not help. And then there is a second. So one part is that barrier is too tight. And another extreme is too loose, what we can call a leaky gut.
Yes.
In this situation, the gut is too permeable, large molecules, undigested proteins or toxins can slip through, and this can trigger immune activation and low-grade inflammation, and this link to metabolic disorders and even brain fog. So the brain fog, it's connected to our gut health.
100%. Yeah, it's insane.
Yes. And when you see how many people suffers because of these gut problems, it's quite astonishing number.
It's really crazy.
For that, yes. And for that reason, like mother is taking care of her child, is the same. We should take care of our microbiome.
Yes.
Because it is inside us. It's part of us, even if it is not our DNA and our genome.
Yeah, I mean, it's working for us, right? That's the cool thing, what we're talking about, right? Even when it's not working as it should, when we think it's working against us, I feel like I have this idea that nothing in the body does anything by accident. So even when it's not, it feels like something is working against you, it's actually working for you. It's just the symptoms are going to just appear on the surface. So you can start paying attention because your body's telling you, hey, you need to really start paying attention now, because if you don't change something, we're going to get even worse from here on. So I just feel like the body doing something, it doesn't mean it's bad. And this is why I feel like we have the wrong approach in medicine, in modern medicine, thinking that we need to kill this thing rather than why don't we try and harmonize that rather than kill?
Yes, and I also watched a few years ago that our war against bacteria will never win, because we can kill one part of bacteria, but the stronger one will pops up. We kill this one, the stronger one will comes up. So it's not the way that you kill; it's the way that you do this, as you said very nicely before,
Harmonize.
that everything is harmonized. Yes, and if our body is telling us something, it's like a sign. Look, here is problem. And then our awareness should be like this. Okay, my body is telling me I need to change something. And not, there is something wrong with it. No, it's alarm in your body. You can imagine, for example, what do you do in your car if there is one red light pops up? What you do? You go immediately to service to check where is the problem. And what would happen if red signs pops up from your car and you just stick one layer not to see it? The problem will not go. But the same people are doing with our bodies. Our body is telling us where there are problems. And we just, okay, I take one tablet not to feel pain. I take this not to feel this. But you must feel it, because this is alarm from your body telling you, please take care of this because I'm having problems here. You can imagine with your car, there are red lights and you just cover with some stickers and the problems are erased. They're not.
Yes. Oh, I love the analogy. That was perfect. And I would like to add something to that, you've probably heard as well, like in the carnivore community, they believe that you don't need fiber. They say that fiber is like useless. As human beings, we have evolved to eat only meat and all of this kind of stuff. So I just feel like, personally, I feel like that is a big disrespect towards nature, because nature is super intelligent. And there is a reason why it provides you with certain fruits and vegetables at different times of the year, because there is an intelligence in nature, right? And we are supposed to live in alignment with the cycles of nature and honor that. And there are periods where, yes, maybe we would eat more meat because there would be less vegetables and fruits in the winter, for example. And then times where we would feast on more fruits and vegetables, which would honor our gut microbiome. And I feel like this is something that is not discussed enough about, because another thing that they also say is that, your body produces these short chain fatty acids by doing like a ketogenic diet and, and all of this kind of stuff. But I feel like it's not at the significant or the same level as when you are consuming fibers, right?
No, you need fibers. You need fibers for sure. For example, butyrate, you get, it's not usual prebiotics in these fibers. It comes from resisted starch. And so, for example, you cook rice, and when it is cooked, you put in refrigerator for 24 hours. So, and this resisted starch, after 24 or 48 hours, it's not food for our body, because there are some chemical reactions that our body cannot utilize, but they are food for microbiome.
Yes.
So
exactly.
There are a lot of people have different opinions and all these things.
Yes.
But you can also check how is our digestive system. And how is different with 100% omnivores. So it's not the same. It's larger, our system, than in 100% animals that eat just meat.
Yes. So, I'll tell you something crazy, right? Like something that's also witnessed, and it is true that some people who have insane like gastrointestinal issues, and then they go on these elimination diets because you are eliminating everything. You're eating only meat and eggs and butter or whatever. obviously your gastrointestinal issues are going to get reduced because you are reducing the variables that your gut has to deal with. And as you mentioned previously with the analogy of the car, you're not actually solving the issue, because when these people reintroduce vegetables and fruits and whatever and bread or whatever they try to introduce into their diet, their issues come back, which means that nothing was actually fixed. You're just suppressing the symptom temporarily. Yes, that might be a useful strategy. I would rather someone do that than take drugs or antibiotics or something, for sure, because it's a more natural approach. But is it a long-term diet? Is it something that people should do years and years on end? I don't believe so, in my opinion.
Yes, me also. And I think there are very simple things in nature, but always some humans think that they are like gods, that they know more than everybody, but things are a lot simple in nature, and
Yes.
we should be just smart enough to watch and see what's going on.
I would like to talk about this insane new product that you have come up with, right? It's called Microbiome, and it's the first Shilajit-based gut health product in the world. Is that correct?
Yes, it is correct. And exactly because of the reasons that we spoke now, we decided to do one thing that is totally different from usual probiotics, prebiotics that you are getting. And we have this thing in our mind to create one formula that will do the baseline of our gut as it should be. So,
Wow.
but this does not mean that you do not take care of your foods, because
Yes.
you need to be aware of one thing. Food supplement, it's a supplement, not a substitute to your way of life, to your food. It's just additional thing to help you to recover some things faster. But your way of living, what you are eating, is more important, because some people sometimes they're calling me and I have these problems with which product will I fix it? You will fix your problems with your lifestyle. This is just additional that will help you.
Yes.
But a lot of people don't want to hear this. So give me some magic pills and I will be fine. It's not magic pills. It's your responsibility to.
This is why I respect, and because you're so open and honest, right? You're telling people the truth. You're not just trying to sell people something, but you actually care about people's health, and you're not telling people that this is going to solve all your problems. This can be used as an incredible tool in addition to your gut healing protocol, taking care of your other environmental factors, most importantly, stress and sleep, and your food. And then adding this in can potentially, assist the process. So let's dive into the different nutrients found in there. Why are they so beneficial for the gut? You talked a lot about postbiotics. So I can assume that in that product, there must be many things that feed the gut as well, right?
Yes. So let's start with the one that is in area of our power blends, is raw chestnut honey. So why is raw chestnut honey important for our gut? Because it have bioactive compounds that feed beneficial bacteria like Lactobacillus bifidobacterium and antimicrobial balance, supports a healthy microbiome by inhibiting harmful microorganisms. So this is just the raw chestnut honey that is added inside. And all the trace minerals and enzymes supporting overall comes from this chestnut honey.
I'll tell you something really crazy. Every time when I consume honey, specifically for breakfast with my yogurt in the morning, I have read that it has synergistic effects with the yogurt, probably because of the probiotics in the yogurt as well. But every time when I consume it, the next day, I always go down in weight. So I always lose weight without changing anything in my diet. It's pretty crazy.
Yes, really astonishing. Then is another ingredient inside is arabinogalactan. It's from one tree. And this is one very interesting prebiotics. It's not like usual prebiotics, because usual prebiotics ferment in our gut. this one is not fermenting. And why it is important? Because strongly stimulates growth of beneficial gut bacteria for a more balanced microbiome.
Awesome.
And enhance immune function via a healthier gut ecosystem. And for the people who have problems with fibers, this one is very gentle fiber and well tolerated also by sensitive system without causing any bloating.
That's so important.
Yes. Then we added one thing that is largely a lot of researches has been already done. It is L-glutamine. So this glutamine, why we added it inside? Because it reduces inflammation, reinforces tight junctions, helps preserve gut integrity, and helps reducing leaky gut.
It's amazing.
And it is gut barrier fuel. It is essential energy for intestinal cells to aid repair. Then you are familiar with Shilajit. But
no, let me tell you something about the glutamine before we move on. I was going to say that in my bodybuilding days in the past, I used to read a lot of bodybuilding articles, and I know many bodybuilders use L-glutamine for recovery and for joint health. And I didn't really used to understand the mechanism of how it works. But now that I understand, based on what you just said, and the gut health in general, what a massive influence that has on your entire system, and how the importance of a healthy gut lining is for your recovery and all of this. I'll tell you one crazy story. Back in the day, like when I was training really hard, I was pretty young, and I was training like 7 days a week at one point. Right. And basically I reached a burnout where I couldn't get out of bed. When I stepped out of bed, I felt like every muscle in my body was cramping. So I had to take a break from the gym. So I started doing some research, what could potentially assist me, not necessarily changing my behavior, but find the supplement, right? Because I was young and I didn't know what I was doing. So I thought I'll find a quick fix. Anyway, I added the L-glutamine into my routine. I started taking 10 grams a day, so more than they recommend. And in 2 weeks, I was fully recovered. It was absolutely insane. And from then I was fully bought into the fact that this supplement is insane and I'm never going to stop taking it ever again. So I was taking it for many, many years. And then after a while, I took a long break from supplements in general. I focused more on other environmental factors and lifestyle factors. And I realized that it wasn't that I needed necessarily the glutamine per se, but that was a massive savior for my situation. So it's incredible that you added it in there.
Yes, quite interesting story, because usually there is 5 grams of glutamine that studies has been done about it. So that you took 10 grams and that you recover so fast, it's really amazing.
Well, I went all out. I thought if I take once in the morning and once at night, maybe in the nighttime it helps the repair while I sleep, and in the daytime maybe as I'm awake. That was my logic.
Okay, great, great. And let's dive in now, Shilajit and gut. What is this connection? Because in every of our products there is also Shilajit inside, and
it's the best.
One that I'm sure that you are already familiar with, it is nutrient absorption. We spoke before about how nutrients, the positive nutrients must go into the bloodstream and the bad one out. So the fulvic acid enhances uptake of micro and micronutrients in the gut. Then there is mineral support, supplies trace minerals that benefit microbiomal metabolism, and very important, gut barrier support, so that this barrier it should be semi permeable. What is good in, what is not good out. So this is Shilajit that is important.
Always amazing
in this process. Yeah. Then the 5th ingredient is Ceylon cinnamon. So why we put, but it's not just cinnamon, we put extract of it so that it's 10 times more stronger than usual powder. And the question was from me to our research team when they developed this formula, why you added cinnamon there? And the answer was quite astonishing for me, that stabilize blood sugar. Now, when we spoke about these sugar spikes, insulin spikes, and all these things, cinnamon helps stabilize blood sugar and even prevent sugar spikes that can disrupt microbial balance. Another thing it is that it is anti-inflammatory.
That's so cool.
It means it helps creating a healthier environment. And the third one, digestive stimulant, what means that encourages efficient nutrient breakdown and absorption.
So, for example, then how does it actually help with the blood sugar control? Do you know the mechanism by which it helps? Because if it actually does that via the microbiome, that like literally is blowing my mind, because it's making me realize that everything that they tell you to eat or take is literally influencing the microbiome, and then the microbiome is like influencing you back. So, for example, people say, take apple cider vinegar before a meal because it helps with blood sugar control and regulation, right? But why? Like, why is that? Well, clearly, like apple cider vinegar is fermented, right? So that could have something to do with the microbiome, potentially. I don't know. Maybe Ceylon cinnamon has as well. Do you know?
The exact mechanism behind, I don't know exactly. But what is interesting, it is, as you mentioned, also this apple, this vinegar, that it helps these insulin spikes because it enters your body with some nutrients that even if you get sugar or something like this, your body responds differently to it. So I don't think that it is the same mechanism, but it is the similar principle is with cinnamon also.
So cool.
And it's interesting that some natural ingredients can have so huge impact on our body at all.
Oh, it's absolutely insane. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize how important the gut microbiome is for their hunger levels and their satiety levels, and how that influences your weight gain or your weight loss. Like, actually, I know that the gut microbiome produces some compounds which accelerates fat loss, but then it also produces some compounds which increases fat gain as well, depending on what you're actually feeding your body. So when people thinking that they are just eating more calories, it's not only that. What is the quality of those calories is going to determine how fast you get fat.
Yes. And now I got a reply from my team about the question that you asked. And there are 5 important things about cinnamon and this glucose and insulin spikes. The first one, it is insulin signaling enhancement. So certain compounds in cinnamon can make insulin receptors more sensitive. And this helps that insulin bind more effectively to its receptor and improve this insulin signaling cascade inside the cells. What if I say it in a simpler term? Glucose is taken up into muscle and fat cells more efficiently, lowering the spike in blood sugar. So this is one thing. Another thing, it is slower gastric emptying. So cinnamon can slightly delay how quickly food leaves the stomach. And because the food is a little more, stays a little longer, there is a slower release of glucose into the bloodstream. And this prevents sharp spikes.
So cool.
Then the third one, it's inhibition of digestive enzymes. So cinnamon inhibits enzymes such as alpha amylase, alpha glucosates, which normally break down starches and carbohydrates into glucose very rapidly. By slowing this breakdown, glucose enters the blood more gradually. So it's not this fast, it's slowly. Then the fourth one, it's increased glucose uptake by cells. That means the cinnamon can stimulate glucose transporters to move to the cell membrane in muscle cells, enhancing cellular glucose uptake.
Fantastic.
And this effect mimics to some degree what insulin normally does. So it's a mimic effect what insulin does. It's something that cinnamon does with this stimulation of these glucose transporters.
So basically, like I know in exercise you have the GLUT4 receptor, which comes to the surface of the cell. So that's like insulin independent glucose uptake, and that's really fascinating. So you could basically say that cinnamon is like exercise for your muscles.
Yes. And the fifth one, reduction of liver glucose output. Cinnamon has been shown to reduce hepatic gluconeogenesis, the liver's production of glucose, which also helps keep blood sugar levels stable between meals. So whatever you intake, it will make your sugar level much more stable. And I was also reading one article in the past about the problem of too much faster aging are these spikes.
Yes.
And for this reason, it's very important to take care of these spikes.
Yeah, it's because of the ROS, like the reactive oxygen species. Like the higher the blood glucose, the more the body has to get rid of it as fast as possible. And I think also not only the spike is the problem, but the duration of the spike, right? So the longer you have an elevated blood glucose, the more of a problem it is for your system, because it's literally like going around your body causing havoc, right? The body's trying to put it away as fast as it can, the sugar from the bloodstream. And when it cannot do that, basically that's what causes inflammation of the arterial walls, like an ROS. And that's what actually can contribute to atherosclerotic plaque, for example.
Yes. Yes. And this is something when you know what kind of food is good for your gut.
Yes.
Then you are taking in consideration when with your meal or with any of food supplements.
Self-awareness, so important.
Yes. So the sixth ingredient is grapeseed extract. Some also call it OPC. So why this grapeseed extract? Because it's a very potent antioxidant. It protects gut-lining cells from oxidative stress. Then its anti-inflammatory action reduces chronic inflammation in the digestive tract, and circulatory report enhances blood flow to gut tissues, aiding repair.
Wow, so cool.
So, yeah. So this is what we have also in mind when we did this formula. Then the seventh one, I think, I don't know how this is familiar with you, is Boswellia serrata. So
did we talk about that last time on one of the other products?
I don't know if it was Boswellia inside. I don't think so.
Not on Prime, no.
No.
Okay.
No. The Boswellia, it's only in the microbiome.
It just sounds familiar.
Yes. So what is with this Boswellia serrata? It targets inflammation, reduces inflammatory signals in the gut. Then there is also barrier support, promotes healing of interstitial tissues, and strengthens barrier function. And what is most important for Boswellia, it helps reduce digestive discomfort and irritation. So this is something what Boswellia do
so cool
for your gut health.
So important. It's great for people, especially like who are, I guess, having gut issues, and they are very sensitive, as you mentioned, to like the fibers and stuff like that. like as you said, you've put like these gentle forms in there, and also compounds which are assisting the healing of the gut, which I think you're doing a great service to the world. Give me like 1 second. I just want to ask my wife to bring me my red blue light blocking glasses. Darling, could you bring me the red ones? No, the red ones. No, the red ones. Sorry, it's becoming like evening here, so I have to protect my melatonin.
Yes, good.
Okay, carry on, moving on. Sorry for the interruption.
So let's continue with next ingredient that is inside microbiome. It's turmeric root extract. And here we put the extract that has 95% of curcumin inside. And because the most important part of turmeric is curcumin, but usually curcumin is very low in turmeric. So we choose the extract that it has 95% of curcumin inside. And why this curcumin is so important? Because it's anti-inflammatory.
Yes.
Then it's microbiome modulation, encourages growth of beneficial bacteria and inhibits harmful ones. What we spoke, that everything should be in a way of balance. And then is tissue repair, accelerates healing of damaged gut lining. So if you already have damaged gut, curcumin will help here.
That's amazing. You know, like my partner Tina, she did her thesis in university on the benefits of curcumin on gut health. So I actually remember her telling me about how it helps with the diversity of the microbiome. It's super fascinating. Nature has it all perfectly orchestrated.
Yes, and for this I really like everything that comes from Mother Nature.
So cool.
The ninth ingredient is marshmallow root extract.
That sounds nice.
It's called also Altaea officinals. So why is this one important? It coats and soothes gut lining during inflammation, calms irritation and supports healing. That means that facilitates repair of mucous membranes. So the same like curcumin, if you already have some problems, this marshmallow root will help you here to recover faster.
Yeah,
then
that's amazing.
The 10th one is DGL. It's deglycerisinate licorice root extract.
Licorice,
and yes, licorice. And it is important that this DGL, not just licorice, but it must be degly without this one of compounds, because it's without these compounds is easier for our microbiome. And what this do for us? One is mucus enhancement. Promotes protective mucus to shield against acid damage. Then is acid reflux relief. That means helps manage reflux by supporting mucosal defenses, and it also has repairing effect, aids regeneration of damaged gut lining.
Wow, that's so important actually, because so many people have acid reflux, and you know how many people left and right, even at a very young age, as soon as somebody experiences this, they start taking these antacids, and then that really like throws off your entire body's ability to produce acid, and your body needs the acid to break down like proteins and stuff like that. So if you mess with that, you're really like messing up with everything, and you could also like run the risk of like getting some parasites and stuff like that, because the acid also kills a lot of things, you know, as the food is entering the gut. So it's so important to actually understand the wisdom of the body that already exists there, and we need to find ways to support that wisdom rather than go against it, like think that something is wrong.
Yes, exactly. And we have 4 more to go.
All right, let's do it.
The 11th one is cardamom seed extract. So cardamom is very important for reduces bloating and stomach discomfort, supports smooth gut motility, and intestine relaxation, and freshness and settles. Traditionally was used for digestive and breath support, so that your breath is more fresh.
I've heard that before, actually. Like people used to chew like cardamom seeds after a meal because apparently it helps you to have a cleaner breath.
Yes, exactly. The 12th one is fennel seed extract. And this one is important for relieves gas, bloating, and cramps.
Yes.
Supports smooth digestion and flow, and it is ideal for calming digestive complaints. So it's gentle relief for digestion system.
Yeah, and fennel tea. A lot of people like to drink fennel tea, don't they? It's very powerful. Like also when I have some gastrointestinal issues, I always drink like either that or peppermint, for example, peppermint tea. I find it very calming on the gut. Yeah, so it's really incredible. Like all of these herbs, they all have their time and place. They're super useful medicine.
Mm-hmm. The fourth one, the 13 ingredient that we added is ginger root extract. And why ginger? It's very calmative for upset stomach, and it is digestion stimulating. It boosts digestive enzymes and bile production. And on the other hand, it's also anti-inflammatory.
So cool.
It helps soothe gut irritation and support gut health.
They had it right in India. You know, in India where they consume a lot of turmeric and ginger, like both of those things.
Yes, exactly. And the last one, as we already said with Shilajit, that it helps absorb nutrients. We put inside black pepper extract with 95% of piperin.
Yes.
And this increases absorption of nutrients up to 2000%, especially curcumin.
That's crazy.
So yes, and now you can imagine all these beneficial ingredients plus Shilajit plus this black pepper extract to enhance this absorption. It's really very, very good.
Yeah, I love it because you go to such a great extent, you know, with your team, with your research team to bring such an amazing product to the world. It's not like you just throw some random things together, but everything is so well thought out as you explained throughout this whole journey and the podcast. And I hope that people understand that, you know, you have to fix your lifestyle and everything, and adding these supplements in that Peter is creating, like the previous ones that we talked about. I hope that people go and listen to those episodes because those are super important, because it's important to understand that the body is a system and it doesn't work in isolated parts. So by taking care of our gut health, by eating the right food and taking the right supplements, we can really improve our performance, our recovery, our cognitive function, our mood, like even our outcomes when it comes to training, for example, our maximizing muscle mass or losing body fat. And it can be all of the opposite of that if you don't take care of yourself and your microbiome. So for everything that we talked about today, people can find this incredible product. It's called Microbiome in the link in the description below. And if you use the promo code Mobility Fitness at checkout, you can get a nice discount on all the Shilajit based products. I love the Prime and also the Altai Shilajit, but there is many other incredible products on there as well, like the Genius, which is amazing for the brain and cognitive function. We did an episode dedicated on that, so definitely go and listen to that one. There is also a new women's supplement, the Flourish, which is having incredible reviews. So definitely go and listen to that for women's overall health and reproductive function, and also issues that women are having. But the gut health one is absolutely huge because, as we mentioned at the beginning, there isn't a system in the body that is not influenced by basically the health of the gut. So we definitely need to make sure that we are honoring and respecting the gut, living with the cycles of nature, and then using supplements as a tool to enhance our performance and our vitality. So thank you so much, Peter, for coming back on the show. I really enjoyed the conversation as always. Of course, we resonate on so many incredible, topics and areas, and I hope to meet you in person one day.
Me also. So thank you for inviting me in this podcast, and looking forward to speak with you soon.
Absolutely.
If you guys enjoy the topics and guests I bring on the show, I would really appreciate it if you left me a 5-star review on Spotify and also subscribe to Fitness Wisdom Podcast on YouTube as well, as this helps to spread the knowledge and wisdom with the world. Until next time,
this is the Fitness Wisdom Podcast.